is so dope. A man with a watch looking like he broke the bank, but he promised me he's not. He said he got started from his wife and a pop's watch, face so fat the band had stretch marks. It shines so bright that you can see it from Mars. Man, he blinded me, reflecting headlights from the cars. He's got to be a rapper, baller, or a movie star, but nah, he's too humble to be all of the above. So he said my name is Trap, oh, cause you bees in the trap. Nah, it ain't even like that, and he tilted his blues cap.
Yo, what's happening? What's going on? What's good?
What is good?
Man, you already know what it is, man. You know the vibes, as some would say.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get situated, so give me a sec, because I'm in a obviously different spot in the house. So
okay, no worries.
You go ahead, bro. And when you want me to chime in, I will chime.
Hey, first and foremost, I want to welcome everybody in. Let me see. It's 5 minutes till 7. At 8:30, we got Not a Watch Snob, I believe, is going live. And if you guys want to be a part of that conversation, man, make sure you tune in, tap into my man. He has a very interesting channel. And what is all that noise about? Okay, we'll keep that to a minimum. That's good. We'll keep it to a minimum. I'm live.
My hair's a mess.
I'm live.
Yeah, there we go.
Baby boogers don't count. Anyway, so what happened was, it don't even matter. What's going on, family? What's happening, everybody? Welcome in. Hopefully you guys got a chance to see that premiere. Hey, honey.
Yeah, no, hold on. I'm just trying to get it situated.
Hey, baby.
I'm just gonna do this. That's all. I'll hold it.
Okay. Hey, everybody. She has a fixation with my hat. Every hat I wear, she has a fixation with it.
Hi, bitch.
All right, so let's do this real quick.
Is that Ladybug?
Hey, she looked at the camera like, who said my name? Let's get us together right quick. All right, so I'm going to do that. Hey, come here. Say hello to everybody. Say hello. You see everybody? We got Jesus in here. We got Dickerson is there.
Hey,
we got B. Cliff. We got Godfather. And of course, we got that's Magnum Vic. That's what we just called you.
Not a watch snob. How you doing? Girl, put your
What's up, Billy?
We already had some bad problems.
Okay. All right. So I want to thank everybody for being here. If you guys had a chance to see the premiere that just aired, you guys know, y'all been following me for the longest, man. You guys know that I'm Invicta watch heavy. I do have other brands. I got Seiko. I got Aragon. I got a list of stuff. I don't even have to go through the list. But this hate video was completely Vic. I'm gonna ask you because you up here, bro.
Mm-hmm. Just
hearing that, what were your thoughts?
Well, first off, I'm not poor. That's number one. I thought the guy spoke out of his ass, to be honest with you. I mean, look, he might be smart with finances, and if you want to do a finance video, you do a finance video. I thought he spoke out. Look, that term, I'm not even going to say the word, but we all know what he was referencing.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. He liked to use the word poor a lot. I'm watching the Giant game right now, and every time they go to the offensive coordinator, this guy's wearing a Sea Hunter. So tell me if the Giant offensive coordinator is poor. I don't think he's poor, but that's what he's wearing. So I don't know what he meant by that. I don't know if he just said, you know what I mean? I just don't know what he meant by that. Look,
man. Hold up. I got it. Man, we have a watch aficionado. We have one of the best watch collectors known to man that's about to come into this building, man. Please, everybody stand on your feet. Give a round of applause, man, for the Pope of all watches, man. Dave D, what's going on, bro?
Oh, Dave D's in the building.
Dave D is in the building.
Yo, since I'm on chat, some of the mods, ban ad, time ad out. We got a time ad out of this for 300 seconds.
I don't hate that Magnum.
What's going on?
What's up, Dave?
What's up, bro?
Nothing much.
So y'all got to understand. Y'all have to understand this one thing is y'all know that I consume a lot of videos on a regular basis, from shoes to hats to Funko Pops to watches. It's not just Invicta, but this in particular video from this Watch Academy dude, I don't even know his name. That blew my mind. The title was saying Invicta's a scam. So my question is, you are a watch trader, you flip watches, you have an academy where you teach people. He's actually featured when you're waiting for commercials. He's featured on some of those commercials. So it's telling me that you are a professional at what you do. You know exactly what you're doing, right? But what possessed you to do this video? So I'm gonna leave it to you guys, because and please, everybody, feel free in the comment section. If you watched it, drop your comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking, man. Dave D. Dave D.
He's deep. He's
Well,
deep in thought. Cliff is saying his name is Benjamin. His first name is Benjamin.
Thanks,
Okay.
Vic. Just from what I heard you play, first thing is that now that you've mentioned it and talked about it, I wouldn't even go to his channel to listen to it, because I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of getting a view from me.
Yes, sir.
So that's first thing.
Yep.
You know, and normally when these things like this happen, people run to someone's channel to see, you know, and hear for themselves, and that allows them to gain something from you. So I'm not going to give you anything, you know. But again, you know, opinions are opinions, and a lot of times I don't let a lot of opinions, you know, sway me either way. But I will say that, you know, whether you have a Rolex or a Patek or Breitling, whatever it is, it does one thing: tells time. It could be an Invicta, it could be a Casio, it could be a G-Shock, whatever it is. It tells time. So you can spend 150,000 if you can afford that. That's fine, but still, you know, your $10 G-Shock or whatever it costs, still gonna tell you the same time. You know, regardless of whether you can flip it or not. That's the bottom line. So, you know, I just don't see it the same way they do. They're in it only for profit, just only for profit. And so whatever academy that he's running, you know, yeah, you're trying to teach people how to, you know, pretty much flip a watch, you know, at a great expense to them at the same time. So, you know, I really don't know if that always works out for them. You know, can you imagine, you know, you're someone that's looking to make a profit, and you say, well, I'm going to buy a $50,000 Rolex, and I'm praying to God I can flip it, you know, and make maybe extra 10,000, 5,000 off it. What if you can't? What then?
Right.
What if you follow all his instructions and it doesn't work? I'm not, yeah, you know, I'm not saying I won't hate on him, you know, if that's his thing, but at the same time, I'm just not going to give him the satisfaction of you know, watching him, and if I was in one of his groups, that would be the last day, you know, if he meant it in that way, you know, everything's subjective, you know, what he's saying, you know, did he mean it that way? I don't know. It sounded like, you know, it sounds like what it sounds like. So sometimes you just got to kind of step back and look at it, but at the same time, you know, you don't want to be supporting something as evil as what that sounded like. So
Gotcha. And that was and that's why, man, Dave, you know, I value your counsel. I really do. You know that. The reason why I reached out to you, bro, because I didn't want to approach this thing and be so like it was a rant, but I was responding to it at the same time, like, yo, that's crazy, bro. Like, what the heck? And same thing with you, Vic. I value a lot of your counsel. You know what I'm saying? And I want to know, like, what is your take? What do you think? Like, what are you thinking about that video, or what you heard?
Well, first, like I said, the poor thing is ridiculous. The most of us in here aren't flippers. I mean, at least not me. You know, if you have to sell, things get tight, whatever. You know, you got to do what you got to. But you're not in the game. But that's not flipping. That's doing something to better your situation because you're in need of it. Right. So I didn't get into the collecting game to flip. I got into collect watches so I can collect watches and wear them. So That's that with that part. The poor part just got to me. I mean, and then the other that word
Yeah.
the word you
Yeah.
use to describe who primarily goes to Invicta is when I changed my tune and called him an ass face instead of a clown, because I think he's still both. But again, at the end of the day, it's just Invicta grabs this hate for some strange reason that it boggles the mind. It really does. And it's all over. It's in Facebook Invicta groups. I scratch my head. Why are you in Invicta Facebook group if you're gonna hate on the brand? Just what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Get
Now,
out of just that's my opinion.
okay. So here's my deal. He's just one of the issues. And I mentioned a couple of people, man. So I'm gonna throw some names out to you guys. Nico, Tommy Big Time, Teddy Bulbasaur, Archie Luxury, Fat Cat, Random Rob, The Time Teller. Each one of these guys are content creators. They're responsible for their own content. Each one of these guys have a great deal of respect in the community. Each one of these guys have a great deal of hatred in the communities. Like, for example, Nico, I think he just hit like 1 million subs. People love what he does. They love his God tier. I think he just got a deal with Casio to where he can sell them now, whatever the case is. Tommy Big Time. He took his Invicta love and it drove him to where he is now. You know what I'm saying? He got out of one car, got into another one. Now he's showing you guys different timepieces. Does he fit in the category as a Teddy Bulbasaur? No, Tommy is who he is. And people respect him for who he is. You know what I'm saying? He has a nice fan base. And the watches, I don't know if you guys saw the latest watch he put out. Beautiful watch. The dial was amazing. But each one of these content creators, no matter who we call, and I'm not just calling names out just to be saying it, everybody is niche to their own. All of us in the watch community, at the end of the day, right? Each one of us are responsible for putting out content that you guys can take and absorb and do whatever you will. Because I know that there's a lot of people that don't like me or Time Teller or Fat Cat Collections, but then there are a gang of people that like us. You know what I'm saying? You guys find value in our content for some reason. You know what I'm saying? But this one, him, and what you said, Vic, now that's the mind-boggling. Hold on, I'm going to get to what you just said. His video did not display trading at all because I'm like, Invicta is definitely not a watch that, when I say, hey, I want to flip, I want to make some money. I'm gonna read something to you guys. According to the, what's it called? The Parlor. This is by Joma Shop. This is on Google. Live for greatness with Rolex. That's in quotations. These are watches that you invest, right? Watch Investments of 2022, a savings account that tells time. That was the title. It was by Tracy Kahn. If you go and look at that, he goes through and breaks down all of the watches that people took for 2022. Case in point, the Patek Philippe with the Tiffany blue dial, that went to auction. That's a watch that if you bought it for I can't remember how much. It was like $60,000. That thing went for, I don't know, some crazy figure, under $1 million, or if not $1 million. That right there, if you were lucky enough, or if you had the scratch to spend 60 and turn a profit and made 400,000 off of it, that's something. Okay, my man, you can teach me how to do that. How do I get in? And then on top of that, if you're not new to the market, if you're new to the market, people don't know you to buy stuff from you. Dave D, if I had a Rolex right now, me, the dude that's been talking about Invicta, and I walked into I'm gonna say a den full of sharks, say, hey, I got this Rolex, man, I'm trying to sell to y'all. Man, Invicta dude, man, get out of here, bro. Get your so I can't flip nothing. I'm done in the market. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't win. Now,
Yeah,
Dave,
go ahead.
Let
me ask you, Trap.
Yes, sir.
What did you I mean, you did the rant. What did you get into the game for? Did you get into this so down the road you can flip, or did you get into it just for the love of collecting?
No, and we didn't do a watch yet, but I got into it because I was bored.
Yeah, look at that. Beautiful wrist with the white mark where a watch would go.
I know.
You can see where the skin color is different. Yeah, Sunday I don't generally wear.
I got my 1953 on the knot. Not a watch snob strap. Hey, y'all need to go check that out. Not a watch snob, man. He did not pay me to do this, but he got some great straps, bro. What you got, bro? Dave D always coming with some
You
heat.
know, wait, okay, everybody sit down now, because here goes Dave D.
Man,
He's gonna
don't
pull
even
out.
try it. That's glycine. Yeah, that's
There you go.
glycine. What is that?
I did
Rose
mortgage.
gold. That's it.
Hey,
Nothing,
Joe, I
nothing
feel
fancy.
that. He said I did mortgage my house to buy.
Yeah, right.
Well, unless you're Jay Jones.
Unless you Jay Jones. You know what? I'll tell you this. I think every watch content creator that I've come across, you know, Teddy Barbasor is a great source of knowledge. He got one video I didn't care for with the QVC video. I didn't care for that because I'm like, that's not even your style, bro. Like, stick to what you're doing because he's smart. I like his look. You know what I'm saying? And I love the information he put out. I'm like, that's to me, that's not his thing. I'm like, the hate videos or the like you want to swing. No, bro, that wasn't you. But he has a video. It's called Investment Watches: The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. If you've never been to Teddy Barbersaur's, and I'm just telling you, check out that video. And he says stuff like, you buy a watch because you enjoy it. That come out of his mouth. And I know a lot of people, he has, I don't know how many, he got like 600,000 subscribers or something crazy. You know what I mean? So, hold up.
Oh, who's in here?
Yo, when a content creator comes in,
Oh boy.
bro, hold up, man. Like, we just can't y'all, you know how I feel about content creators, man. We got to welcome to the stage.
Bro,
Bob's
Hey.
in the building.
hey man,
He's
it's
in the
funny
house.
because
What's going on?
every time I come on your show, bro, I feel like I'm a wrestler with an entrance.
Bro,
What's up, D?
How
hey,
y'all doing, fellas?
What's
Good.
going on?
How are you?
Everything's good.
I'm good, man. I'm over here eating, man. I had to come on here and eat while we talk about this because that wasn't cool at all, man.
No.
Wasn't cool at all.
Well, what you eating right off the bat? What you got?
I mean, honestly, I'm all for people having their own personal opinions. You know, I dabble. I mean, we all have different hobbies, but I dabble into another type of hobby, such as sneakers. And I oftentimes say how watches and sneakers are very relatable. And you'll have somebody who posts a pair of shoes and everybody bashes the shoes, but then that person is very, prideful of that pair of shoes. And if we translate that to watches, us as a community, we're very prideful in what we like and we buy what we like. That's one of the phrases that we always use in the sneaker community is wear what you like. And that translates to just about anything, whether it be clothes, shoes, watches, I mean, the whole nine. But for me, it becomes a problem when you begin to degrade somebody in what they like. Again, there's nothing wrong with us having our own personal likes and interests, but when you're degrading, calling people poor, monkeys, etc., then it gets to where it's very disrespectful. And I think that's where the line should be drawn in the sand, because I should be able to respect another person's hobbies and interests or what they like, whether I agree with it or not. It's not about that. It's about respect and giving them that respect because that's something that they enjoy doing. But when you're bashing, I mean, because I don't know the numbers, but if I had to guess, Invicta probably has one of the largest watch fan base out here. I mean, we're large, like, huge. even people that are wearing the watch, but may not be a collector, they still own the watch. You're talking about Rolex and all of these, other high-end expensive watches. That's a way more smaller, inclusive type of community, because it's not even that everybody can't afford it. Everybody doesn't want it. I don't want a Rolex. I'm cool with that. I don't want a designer type watch. I'm cool with that. But just because you like one thing, don't try and push your interests and your hobbies on me, but then also trying to recant my thinking on what I like and what I'm interested in by trying to degrade it. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. And again, when you said that like his production team is wearing the watches and then you're still degrading me as a part of the production team, I would question what he has said, because I'm like, okay, so how do you value me? Is it just you're just okay with me because I'm doing something for you? But deep down as a person, how do you value me? So I mean, we could take this in a lot of different directions, but ultimately the disrespect is for me that I cannot tolerate. If you don't like something, cool. But when you begin to be disrespectful, and then calling people monkeys, like that's like, I'm talking about like low, like that's when you go to like the, like the trash yard site, like, and you see the big piles of trash, to me, that, phrase and that type of, saying is underneath that trash, like it's that low, so let's talk about it, man.
Yeah, Luciano says they don't consider their market. Millionaires aren't the majority. They live in a bubble.
Exactly.
I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, indeed, you made a valid point, because I don't know. Okay, let's say this. I've heard and had conversations about Time Teller. Time Teller did a video maybe 4 or 5 years ago where he said he absolutely hates Invicta, and this is why. He talked about the size of the Invicta. He talked about the build quality. He said, and I've tried it on. So he gave a valid review of the company. He talked about the MSRP. It's a lot of stuff that he didn't like about Invicta. And guess what? You can't be mad at him for that. He says in there, fight me for it. You know what I'm saying? But you have to respect, even if you don't like him, you have to respect his opinion on the Invicta. There was another guy that said, hey, Invicta, the VD 53s and 54s, why do you guys have, why do Invicta cloud the dial up with all of these sub dials, and you can't even tell because of the characters and everything's going on? It's too busy. Valid point. You know what I'm saying? I can't argue that. But when you do the video that he did, I said, bro, and I will tell you this, Dave, because I know you're not going to watch the video, and I know some people will refuse to watch it. Let me put it to you like this. He goes on to say, he goes on to say that at the end of the day, you can wear a smartwatch and it tells time. And it's something what Dave was, that goes back to what Dave was talking about, because every watch is relatively the same as far as their function. They tell time, some better than others. But you are a man that is into marketing and trading. So what point? Like, you're literally shooting holes in your ability to give us information on how to trade watches. And I still question, why choose Invicta? Who in the chat?
It's an easy target.
It is, but like, who's in the chat? Really? Okay, I'm gonna tell you this, and I know somebody. I know a guy that lives here in Indy. He bought a bunch of Invictas in the state sale, and I can't remember how much he paid for it, but let's just say he paid $1,000 because it was a low price, right? He got like 25 watches out of this. You can grab it. He bought like 25 watches out of this thing, right? All of them were the Swiss made ones. They were like from 91 all the way up to I want to say 2005. A bunch of just old Swiss made pieces. He could turn around and flip all those watches. And they'll tell him, you know what I'm saying? Tell him what he's gonna get for him. But if he paid $1,000 and he spent, let's say he got $200 for each one of the 25 watts, he paid. He paid. So he did make a valid point in that video. You can flip anything. Dude, look, I got that. This right here. I can buy this from that little Chinese mart and buy a whole case of them for $12. And put these on eBay or whatever for $5 a piece. Flipped, made a profit. You know what I'm saying? But what he did, man, in my opinion, bro, just to get, that was past hate. That was like your agenda is violent, bro. That's how I feel about it.
He pretty much named out who the agenda was for, in my opinion.
Poor people.
And
Poor people.
you all know me, I'm not gonna get involved with that. So,
Yeah.
you know, because it's stupidity. Like, look, I'm gonna make, you know, you guys probably heard the story before, but I was going away, man, and got an airplane. Now, pilots make, you know, good living, right? I was wearing a Grand Octane, man. I spotted it in the walkway going in before I got onto the plane. You know, when you turn that corner and the door is there to get on that plane. Okay. And I went right to him. I said, "Hey, man, how you like that watch?" He's like, "I love it. It's my favorite watch. I wear it all the time." So what are we talking? You know what I mean? That guy was just, you know, ignorance. They say what? Ignorance is bliss. And that's how I'm going to leave it. Like you said, I wouldn't, guys, I wouldn't give him the time of day. I don't care how, you know, it's just, I'm going to equate it like to me too, again with me. Look, I love Hyundai, man. I've had them since 99. There's no one's going to tell me different. But because I like it, that doesn't mean I want you to like it or D to like it or Dave D to go out and buy one tomorrow. You like what you like. It goes in everything. The clothes you wear, the one pair of sneakers I have, you know what I mean? My you know what I mean? You wear and you buy what you like at the end of the given day. And not be disrespectful about it. I'm never disrespectful to anybody who buys a watch that I may not like or I might not prefer. I'm never going to say, you know, never, because you like that watch. I don't have to like it as long as you like it. I'm not going to call anybody out for it, but a lot of this group does. But, you know, that guy was just disrespectful in every way. You don't have to categorize people like that.
So let me read you. This is directly. This is nothing made up. Directly from his comment section. You are wrong. I have Invicta for 18 months now. I wear it always. I even take showers in it. Its durability and it's still working good. I bought my Invicta for $60 and it was mistaken twice this week for a Rolex. Don't get me wrong. I corrected them immediately, but let me see. I think a bigger mistake is buying a smartwatch. So this person was talking about smartwatches. Now, if you go through, like I said, in the thing, the first 20 comments, and I think it's past that. Wow, do I ever disagree? You know what I'm saying? Like all the comments, people, and these are people that probably subscribe to his channel. This was poor thought out.
No, it wasn't poor thought out. I don't think it was. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Okay. It was thought out.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Execution, bro. I get
it. I get what you're saying. But okay, for the position that he's in, I believe he thought it out well. He's getting what he wants. He's getting people to make comments, you know, he's getting people to watch the video. All these things is in his best efforts. So I don't think that he made I say it's a bad choice, yes, but he knew exactly what he was doing. It's not like a mistake, you know, we do something in a mistake and say, I shouldn't have done that. No, he knew exactly what he's doing. He knew if he hated on Invicta that he was going to get what he want from it. And that's pretty much what's going on right now. You know, most of these people that using Invicta as a wall, you know, to crash into, they know what they want and what they're doing because they have nothing going on at the moment. Hey, let's make bash Invicta for a minute. We can get some views that way. You know, people love to hear Invicta bashing. You know, for some strange reason, they love it.
Yeah, you're right about that.
You know, so anytime they make videos bashing Invicta, they know they're going to get some views. And a lot of these guys, you know, that talk bad about Invicta, I can almost guarantee that if you look in their watch box, there's about 2 or 3 Invictas in there. You know what I'm saying? They're not telling you that they're collecting Invictas. They have Invictas. You know, that's their bull crap that they're going on. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Trap, there's people that have, you know, a lot of finances that buy Invictas. You know, and hey, they're not unhappy with it. You know, so this guy right here, to me, man, he means nothing to me. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I totally
You know,
agree.
he means, you know what I'm saying? People like that, I don't, man. Please.
Now, I
You
do
know what I'm
want to
saying?
say this. As far as being all right, baby. As far as a content creator is concerned, I want to say to the people that's reached out to me on Instagram, Facebook, and like private message and stuff like that, and some of you guys have questions and concerns. You do have to take some of this content with a grain of salt and don't take it so personal to where it affects your mental state. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had conversations with people that really love Invicta, the Invicta family. I'm talking about they are in love with the idea. And when somebody like this says come along and they say these things, it throws them off. Now, I think sometimes we could take for granted the mental stability of, like, for example, if you're strong enough that somebody came and talked about your mama after she died and talked about your daddy because he in jail or something that affects you personally, but you're strong enough to like let it bounce off, hey man, you great. But there's some people out here that's watching us, they're not that strong. They're not as strong. And that's the thing is if you're watching this video right now, there's a lot of you guys that have watched other videos and you come across this. And somebody, you know, somebody had put a video in my pathway, say, Trap, what do you think of this? And I looked at it. It was one video I didn't even mention. I said it was pointless. And I did this video with the intention of I want the creator of the whoever this guy, I forgot what y'all said his name was. Hey, Benjamin. But Benjamin Butts. Stop it. Stop it. It threw me off. Yeah, you what? Hey, this is how I feel. I think your video and your message was it didn't hit the mark. Now, based on Dave, it did hit the mark of like you got your agenda out there. That video got over 5,000 views in a month. So kudos to you getting views. But I still feel like that was weak sauce on your end for putting such a, like that was trash. That was a trash topic. Let me see. Do you hold on, let me get this topic up here. Do they really think that Invicta does the best they do because of the watches or jump? Now, D, you mentioned Invicta sells Vic, give me the number again. I always forget what the number is. What is it? Like 1,000 per hour?
1,000 per hour get delivered worldwide, and over 4 million customers.
Them Jay Jones.
That's all. Yeah, that's all. Jay Jones.
Jay Jones is a big part of that. I mean, Jay Jones is a big part of that. that target window is more for Jay Jones, but yeah, that's what they claim. You know, Kamon's got a comment in there.
Hold on, let me get to Kamon. Where's Kamon? I saw. Yeah, he was talking about that was a big deal out in California. They was robbing, and then you know your boy got robbed. Archie Luxury got robbed.
Yeah, he did.
Invicta, an easy target. They bring it on themselves sometimes, but there's a question. If you like, hold on. Here we go. Well, you know what? I get bent out of shape out of the hatred, bro. It's not even protecting Invicta. I get bent. I do, honestly. I get bent out of shape at the hatred that people put out here. That's me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I feel like
it's like I'm not worthy if I have an Invicta. That's why I get, you know, I really don't get that bent out of shape like most. I'm like, I'm gonna give my opinion on it, but you know, because like I always say, do what you do. You know, I just, you know, it's tiring to always hear it. It's like you know, I'm gonna equate it to work. Okay, there's certain guys at work that they just hate being there. They hate it for whatever reason. Well, you know what? Your toolbox has wheels, man. You could roll it on out, go to another shop, but they're still there.
Yep.
And I've been hearing this for 4 years. Okay, look, we all have bad days at work. I get it. Everyone has a bad day. I don't care where you're working. Everyone has a sports player you lose. That's a bad day. Everyone has a bad day. But what are you going to do about it to change it?
You gonna pull my head up, baby?
So it's more, tired of hearing it more than Look, I don't lose any sleep over it. Be brutally honest. But when we're talking about it, I am gonna come out and talk about it because it's tiring to always hear it. Always, it's tiring.
You know what? Come on, here's it. He said, "Girl, you either go up or you come down. What you gonna do?" She crazy.
Yeah, that's true too. Come on, that's true.
That is. And you know what? I would never be in a position where, you know what I'm saying, like I'm not gonna make a habit of like if I made a habit of responding to everyone, because there's some new guy that came up, and that is a quick, let me put this crazy video out here, and a hate video. There's a ton of them. They're on TikTok, they're on Instagram, and there's a bunch of shorts on YouTube. I'm not responding to that.
No.
This one though, that one got me. It got me because I'm like, okay, when are you going to be responsible for your content, which he is responsible for what he puts out? You know what I'm saying? And my biggest thing is I'm not here to defend Invicta. That was poor. That was a poor, cheap shot at people. You know what I'm saying? Like you come on here and say what you want to say. Nah, bro, that's crazy. You're responsible for your content. Get out of here with that foolishness.
But he was also being very racist in that video as well.
You know what? There's gonna be classifications, and then like we can take this thing a lot further too, because we can talk about people that drive particular cars. If you drive Ford versus Chevy, you know what I'm saying? Ford people feel like if you drive a Chevy, your car is trash, or vice versa. But then you have people that drive Maseratis or Porsches. They may feel like, oh, my car is better because you drive a CRV. You know, hold up. Baby girl is just all over the place. She knocking my camera stand down. She pulling on my house shoes and everything. Let me see. I will say this. I don't care what anyone says. I will buy Invicta, and the people I see always give me compliments. I'm gonna watch this thing back. Okay, turn your. Hey, you know what? You ain't got. There's no choice but for people to like Invicta around you, Jay Jones, because you always have a brown truck or the FedEx truck pulling up to your house on a regular. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Jay Jones. How many watches have you bought so far this year?
20.
But I would like to say that from the people that I know of that have high-end watches, they get less noticed with their high-end watches than people with the Invicta watches do. And I honestly believe that some of them don't like that. You know, they want to be noticed for their watch because, you know, it's a symbol of someone making it in life in a sense. But typically Invicta watches get more notice, more compliments, just more looks, more everything than most higher end watches. So, you know, for the small prices that you are paying for a lot of the watches, you get, you somewhat a reward from that. You know what I'm saying? Just hearing a compliment from someone, can make you say, hey, man, thank you. I appreciate it.
So, if
you're there with a $30,000 watch on and no one ever notices it, but yet they're noticing, maybe a $150 watch, some people get into their feelings about that, like, hey, notice his watch, but then we'll notice this, that sort of thing. So, I mean, I don't know. It's subjective to a lot of different things,
that's a valid point. Come on. That is a valid argument. Apple versus Android.
And that's going to always be an argument.
Say this. Yeah. Forget, we can cancel this whole conversation about there's no bigger argument than Apple versus Android.
That's true.
Right.
I promise you. That right there will separate a household.
Yeah.
Dude,
But
that-
again, like, I mean, you know, even with that conversation, like everybody in my household has Apple, but then my mom, my dad, my father-in-law, they have Android. My mother-in-law has an iPhone. You know, one of my brothers has an Android. You know, one of my brother has an iPhone. You know, so I feel like that's going to be a split decision. But I have nothing to say bad about Android. You know, I used to have an Android, but my preference is an iPhone, and I leave it at that. I don't go bash, you know, Android users for having that. You know, I know a lot of people that have Androids. I think, which it has nothing to do with. It has more to do with just like more so the software designers of the companies as to why when we're in a chat together, we see the green versus it all being one cohesive and it being blue for us on, you know, both sides. If we have, you know, iPhone as well as an Android user in the, you know, group text together, but that's just the difference of both parties, not one to make, you know, that texting transaction uniform. But I mean, ultimately, I mean, just like you said, I don't think it's a bigger debate than Apple versus Android. I mean, that's the biggest debate in this world.
That's another show. That's another show.
I mean,
that could take on a whole nother life force.
Yeah,
because you're right. Because come on, right? We all do it. I mean, we all do it.
That's because Invicta watches are 52 millimeters and luxury watches are 43 and under. So people are going to easily notice the bigger watch.
Well, I think going kind of back to what Dave D was saying, because I was actually going to really allude to that. I think it's the exclusivity of some of these bigger watch brands versus Invicta. They have an entire, you know, their entire catalog is from people that can afford Invicta all the way to the ones who want to spend that top dollar on Invicta. They have a variety of watches to where everybody can afford them, and people of non-Invicta collectors don't like that because, as Dave D said, Invicta overshadows a lot of watch companies because a lot of people are wearing them, whether it be as small as a Pro Diver all the way big to a Grand Octane, you know, and anything in between. So I feel like a lot of the hatred comes from the vast availability of the watch. You can go into TJ Maxx, you can go into Sam's Club, you can go into just about all these places, you know, without having to go into the mall, and you can find an Invicta watch. And I feel like they don't like that because they have wanted to pursue a watch company that is more in the exclusive end, and people aren't talking about it like they think they should. So I think that's also a big benefactor when it comes to people hating on Invicta, because it's too readily available for people. They like, why is this watch everywhere? I'm sick of seeing this watch. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, I see. Right on, Nightwing. I see that. You know the one thing that's strange to me when it comes to, you know, when I look at the reviews on Invicta online, I'm like, watch community, they're more to Invicta than the homage pieces, because of course we got the Speedway that looks like the Panda Dial Daytona and the Submariner, which I have on. But again, like I pointed out, that's not a homage to anything. That is an original design of Invicta. The X-Wing technically is Imperious, but Invicta took it's theirs now. So there's a bunch of watches that, hold on, let me see. Even the Ladies Gladiator.
Oh, I can't get comfortable.
The Ladies Gladiator. That one, I mean.
Oh, Janet just got the new one, the 43 millimeter bracelet with the.
Uh-oh, he hit the wrong button.
no.
Unless Janet killed him, like, don't be telling people what I got. Hey, Dickerson, I saw that comment you put in there, Team Apple. I saw that. You trying to start something, bro. I saw what you did. But yeah, man, you know, I wanted to get like what you guys, your opinions on this stuff. All right, my man is coming back in.
I hit the back button on the phone because I was getting comfortable. But I was going to say, Janet got that new 43 millimeter Gladiator, the Pave. This thing's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. And what y'all can't see behind the scene, Honey's walking right now. She's learning her little steps. She walk. Come on, baby. You can get it. Oh, she fell down. But then I just want to get a live reaction and see what you guys thought. Did I think too much into it? You know what I'm saying?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
I don't think you didn't. I don't
I
think
would
you did
just because again, you know what? Like this year, I really I said this on Instagram. It's nothing really gonna change too much about my channel this year, man. But I want to be more intentional on what like where we going. You know, so for example, when people like lately have been asking me about certain watches that videos I put out 2 years ago, people ask me questions now. And I'm like, wow, I had to go back and look at what I said. I was like, wait a minute, I can't even remember that video. I said, hold up, I get with you in a second. So I go back, like, oh, what is the quality of Invicta now versus back then? I'm gonna tell you this. This was the watch that somebody asked me about, right? I didn't even own this watch at the time I talked about it. I did what some YouTubers do. You don't have the watch in hand, but you talk about it. I talked about this watch, and it was a video I put. Is the Bolt series the future of Invicta? Well, somebody asked me, and I got it, and I said, well, as far as I'm concerned, when that watch debuted, it was $299. Now you can get that thing for $100. Same watch. It's the exact same watch, which goes back to the statement that my man made, Benjamin. He said that these watches are worth $100 and they're selling them for $500, $600, $700. Let me tell you this. For the viewer that's watching this on a replay, if you ever hear somebody say that the Invicta watches are $500, I'm going to say that's garbage. Type in Invicta.com and look at, they got a page of clearance sale watches. You're going to pay for watches as low as $20 on their website with the maximum of what you may find is $600. They do have some $1,000 watches on there. They're number limited watches. Is it worth that? I'm not going to pay $1,000 for it. So I'm just going to tell you that up front. But for what I wear, like if you get a pro diver, you get that for $80. That dude was completely wrong. Philly in here? Yo, Philly, what's going on, boy? What's happening? My man Philly's in the building. Replace that 1987 computer with hey, Abby on your head, bro.
Ad's got it out for me, boy. You know, big time.
That target on your back has gotten so much bigger, man.
Yeah, sure did. Especially with Ad.
So yeah, man. I mean, my channel is just gonna be talking about the watches that you can obtain, the prices. We have seen a dip in prices. Dave D, like in this group, has been collecting watches the most, the longest. So Dave D, I'm gonna kind of pitch this question to you. Have you seen a difference, or is there a difference in the quality of Invicta from when you started to right now? Hey, and be honest, bro. Hey, be honest.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Well, okay, yeah, thanks, Vic. You need to go buy another sneaker.
I wasn't gonna do you like that, Vic.
I got 2 pairs. I got 2 pairs. My everyday pair, my vacation pair. That's it.
That's subjective, but from what I've seen, since Invicta isn't really doing the Swiss made thing anymore, at one point I would say the quality was still as good as their Swiss made counterparts that they used to make. As time went on, I've seen little changes. You know, I've heard a lot of people saying a lot of different things, you know, as far as they receive a watch and the band wasn't on the watch, you know, just little things like that, or the screw wasn't on the back of the watch and stuff like that. So I'm guessing that I've gotten some pieces before that weren't up to par, that was already damaged before I even received it. So, you know, they definitely need to work on their quality control a little bit more. You know, but that happens to all brands. They have their quality control issues. It's not just Invicta.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just pointing out the things that I've heard and so on. I've even seen where people are talking about the watch didn't work and so on and so forth, and they explained how the watch didn't work. And then after I finished reading what they were saying, it was an automatic watch. Like you didn't wind the watch. You know, so I've heard stuff like that. It's like, oh God, you know. So
Yeah.
a lot of times it's our own personal fault. It's not always the company's fault, you know. So I don't want to bash them for that, but you know, every company has their issues. So I'm not just gonna blame Invicta, but you know, it's out there and people have their concerns.
Right.
You know, I know the warranty has gone down. They used to do a 5-year warranty. Now it's what is it, 2-year warranty or 3-year warranty?
3-year
Yeah.
warranty.
Yeah, you could buy the Invincible to make it 5 if you want.
Yeah. And see, at one point it used to be a 5-year warranty off the jump, but not anymore. So
And that and for those that don't know what that invincible guarantee is, that's literally holding your money in place. So if you spend $250 on a watch, and I've said this on a live stream on Instagram, if you paid $250 for a watch 2 years ago and you got that invincible guarantee, and now your watch breaks and you go back and they have the same watch, guarantee you'll be able to get more because that same watch is about $150 now. The prices have adjusted, have dropped considerably. And I was laughing when I was laughing at come on. He said, "Tell the truth, Dave." And
I can't see the chat, so I don't know what no one's saying.
yeah, it was Dave. He said, "Tell the truth." So the thing about it is, I mean, since 2014, I have bought a number of Invicta watches. I've had, and out of the hundreds that I've owned, let's say about maybe five to six of them have failed. You do the number, the variable where, okay, in comparison to how many I've purchased to the ones that failed, it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? However,
No, it isn't.
It looks terrible. It looks terrible when you go into a Facebook group and you got across the board, when you got a few hundred people was like, "Hey, my watch failed, my watch failed, my watch failed." You're like, "Ooh, that looks terrible." You know what I'm saying? But you can't add that percentage up. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a number that you don't have. How many watches do fail? You know, and if Victor put that number out there, then we can make a determination on the overall quality of their watches. Right. Now, if you happen to be ice cold Kyle, as unlucky as he was, he got like 5 or 6 of them in a row that was jacked up.
In a row.
In a week.
But we also got to understand that Invicta watches are mass produced. So you mass produce anything, you're going to have a level of failure some kind of way. You know, you mass produce sneakers, boats, whatever it is, cars, you're going to have your failure.
Well, facts for cars, because I live it every day. So
yeah,
facts for cars. We have $90,000 cars rolling out of there, and 10 minutes later they come back sometimes with a check engine light, or something. I mean, nothing's perfect. But to jump on what Trap was saying, I mean, I do think the quality has gone down a tad. For me, look, I've had one watch that I got from them out of all my watches that I had to literally send back because it was broke. You know, I do have an issue now though with a certain watch that I changed the battery on. I flipped the watch over. Everything was working fine. I put everything back. Now, look, it's not my first battery change, guys. I've changed over 100 batteries. I put the case back on. Everything, you know, I'm very, you know, careful. I turned the watch around, and all 3 yellow sub-dials were floating in that dish, in that dial.
Man.
So you took the sub-dials off?
Yeah, something happened. Something happened between me putting the white clip back in there and me screwing the case back on. I mean, it's not like it was my first day at the track. So obviously that particular watch wasn't built the right way because there's no way that should have happened. But it did. So now it's on its way to Utah. So because I didn't want to risk
Well,
it with a jeweler.
I've had that happen to me on one of my watches. Now, I wasn't changing the battery. It just so happened to look at the watch, and I realized I can't find the hands. Where are the
Wow.
hands? Yeah, the hands just came off. And when I looked, they were just, on the dial. I'm like, wow, how did that happen? So I mean, I took it to my watch guy, and he put them back on, and it was working fine.
Yeah,
But
I mean, that's what I mean. Look,
you know,
I'm sure that's all. I mean, the movement's not broke because I kept the crown in overnight, and it kept perfect time. It just
yeah,
didn't, even with the second hand. It was a master calendar watch. So when I mean the sub dials, I mean all the 3 sub dials, the seconds, the seconds for the chronograph and the minute, all came off, but the hands
yeah,
didn't come off. I mean, the date and day didn't come off. And it kept perfect time. So, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be an easy fix, but still, it shouldn't have happened. But quality, from what not from me, not from my experiences, but from other experiences, yeah, I've heard people complain about quality. Now, look, I will say too, I had a couple of trios come in that I had to tighten the screws, which is unacceptable. I don't think you should have to do that as a watch collector. I don't think you should have to get a watch that has screws on it and let me check to see if they're tight. I think it
but
should
here's
be
the
like
thing.
that.
But here's the thing, Vic. I hate to say it. Even if you go over to Aragon, Wing will tell you whenever you get the watch, make sure all the screws are tightened. He'll tell you that himself. And a lot of times, I don't know why they don't tighten them up or what the reason is behind it. But I think that's something that we should do anyway, because screws will come loose. Some watches come with Loctite on it already, and some don't. Loctite will definitely keep your screws in, but if it doesn't have any Loctite, they kind of, they'll back their way out. So anytime you have screws, man, you should always double check it.
Well, I always do, but it was like my recent trios that came in had issues with, because I know people had issues with the Sabacco Specialties. I know the chaos,
the chaos, bro,
chaos was a big
man.
issue with screws.
Boy, mad at that, boy. They got their chaos and they put it on, just flew off. I'm like, yo.
Right.
I tightened mine down as soon as I saw everybody on Facebook. I thank you for trial and error, because as soon as mine came in, I tightened them jumps down. I was like, that was probably one of the most expensive watches at the time that I paid for it from Invicta. So,
I mean, look, you don't look for it when you buy anything. You don't want it to come home. It goes with anything. You could bring home a PS5, plug it in, it don't work. I mean, you don't want anything that you buy to be defective or improper quality. Yeah. But unfortunately, in life, you're not going to get, nothing's perfect, and you're going to have it's how it gets corrected going forward, rather than keep going backwards. If it gets corrected going forward, then then it is what it is.
Welcome in, me Nas in the building. Thanks for coming in. So check this out. I bought a game. It was Halo back in the day. It was no information on the disc. I mean, it was completely blank. I took it back to GameStop and I said, "Hey man, ain't nothing on this disc, bro." He was like, "What?" I said, "Man, put in y'all system." They put in the system, nothing. It just showed up registered, nothing. The next 2 games that they gave me, nothing was on the disc. I brought it back to him. I was like, how does that happen, bro? Like,
he said T has a watch run on 2 years trying to get it fixed.
T, what? Woo. So I got a watch right now that the stem is on back on that. That wasn't Invicta's fault. I actually dropped the watch, and the crown stem got bent, and they just don't have the crown stem. So
they had to Auntie Meet and I.
Man, I hope my watch will take 2 years to get fixed.
I got my phone.
Say hey. Meet in there. See in there somewhere. Down there somewhere.
Yeah, you better hurry up and say hi, because with that 6%, he might be gone soon.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So now, as far as everything else is concerned, I mean, we got through our topic and whatnot. I do want to ask, as far as 2023, what is the one purchase that you guys, and I know this is not going to apply to D, so I'm going to apply sneakers to you, but for the other two gentlemen on the screen, what's your number one purchase for this year?
Oh, this year coming up, most definitely, I have got to get a SW500 Magnum.
I have to agree with that comment. I mean, look, I pump the brakes a lot, so I'm really gonna just get the one or the one or two that I want to grab. But any new Magnum that comes out, I'm gonna try and grab. But yeah, that Salida 100. But I like to see it in a regular Magnum rather than the Tria, because I have enough Trias and I do have enough Magnums, but I think that's a better move. I think that looks better, in a Gen 1 Magnum. So for me, yeah, anything Magnum that catches my eye that is completely different from what I have is probably what's going to be on my list. A couple of Ranger watches that are going to be new.
Pump the brakes, y'all. There's a comment in like this right here. Some mods. Somebody put Jay Jones in timeout.
Okay, timeout.
Somebody
Want me to put him in a timeout?
Literally said, "I'm not buying anything in 2023."
I don't know who she wants.
Jay Jones.
Jay Jones, you need to stop it right now. Jay Jones, go
put
put yourself in the
bought two
corner.
more. You went
Well,
to the store today and bought.
To be honest, for me, I was just kidding about the Magnum, y'all. For me, I was just messing with Vic. I would say I have my eyes set on a few things, but time will tell. Let me say it that way. Time will tell. I'm not 100% sure what Invicta is planning on coming out with, so I'll wait to see what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But I have my eye on a couple of things, and I'm gonna try to make it happen. I can't really say what it is because it might not happen, so I don't want to put it out there.
I got you.
Yeah, so it's like, by the time I get ready to purchase, it probably doesn't exist anymore. So, so that's where I stand right now. But
okay. I respect that. So, Mr. Unbox.
Yo.
I know you'll probably be better off with a smartwatch, you know what I'm saying, based on what you do.
Hey, man, you know.
but as far as sneakers,
bro, you get
what
she say?
What's hold up.
You get
he probably ain't getting them.
You ain't getting them?
Hold on, where it go? It's gone.
Yeah, because you don't know about a phone.
Them black and purple
12s.
Yeah.
Hey, Trap, go on and tell her, bro. I don't rock with the 12s.
You don't like 12s?
I don't rock with the 12s.
Yeah, or 5s. You don't like that.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, but what's the one? I know you're gonna get some shoes, but like, what's that one shoe that you're looking to get this year?
Man,
Converse All Stars.
Oh, for sure, Vic. So I can go and send them right to you. Let's see.
They even make Converse anymore?
Yeah.
They still do?
Yeah. I would definitely say Trap Weed.
That was so quick, man. Quick.
Hey, you gotta be quick on the feet now. Hey, you gotta be quick on the feet, man. Life taught me that. I would definitely say
with some sketches, man.
Hey, honestly, man. Sketches is ahead of their time when it just comes to the level of comfort. Aesthetically, they're not pleasing at all, but the level of comfort that they provide, I have not seen a more comfortable shoe than Skechers. I mean, honestly, I don't own a pair, but I have tried a pair on. I've tried a pair on.
That's what I wear. I wear Skechers, brother. I'm sorry,
I
y'all.
mean, you talking about like the comfort of Skechers is just like
Skechers
unmatched.
True. I got
Yeah.
Skechers work
It's
shoes with steel
unmatched,
tips,
man. It's
and those things are
unmatched.
comfortable as hell.
And I mean, like I tried on. I mean, I've had a pair of Brooks. I mean, I've tried on the Hokas and you know the Asics and the Sauconys and all of that. I mean, Skechers is unmatched when it comes level of comfort for sure. But Trap, back to your question, I would say the reimagined threes, bro. Need those. So I think they come out in March.
March.
That's
Yup.
definitely a pair that I need for sure. For sure.
I have to agree with you. If I don't get nothing else this year,
For
that one. Hey, news break. DC that fell off the couch laughing at you, bro. She on the floor, bro. Like this week. But
oh man.
and I saw Kamon's comment earlier. He said, Dave, he said, time will tell, you clever. Very clever. Very clever. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what do you mean by that. I don't know
Dave,
what do you
you
mean by
smooth,
that.
bro. You're a smooth
I don't know what do
individual,
you
bro.
mean by
Man.
Nah, man. I still got room for like 2 more Invictus because you know I got my little 8. I got my JT 8 slot leather case that I'm trying to fill still, you know, while I'm trying to sell off my other watches. But I got like my 6 favorite watches in there right now, so I'm gonna try to get me 2 more. I think I'm gonna keep it at that for you know the time being. But I haven't really been on Shop HQ in quite some time. But when I see, because I mean, remember I asked you about, I was still waiting on the NCAA college football license to watch.
Nothing about that since the cruise, bro.
Yeah, so I'm waiting. I wanted that, you know, I wanted the Alabama watch, but I don't know what they're doing on that.
I ain't heard nothing about it, man. I may even drop that video because I actually have the footage of AL actually mentioning the teams. So I may drop that footage in a short, man, next week or whatever the case is, man. But yeah, for sure, man. I ain't heard nothing about. I think that would have been bigger than NHL, bro. To be honest,
college football would have been the biggest, bigger than NFL. All of that, man. Like college football, man.
That right there. I don't know what they was thinking about, but you know, that one.
Boss, let me ask you a question.
If they do it right,
in the sneaker, right, in the tongue of the sneaker, right. When we put a pocket watch right in the tongue right there, bro, can we do that?
Man, it's funny, man. They actually came out with a pair of Jordans a couple years ago with a watch on the sneakers, but it was right at, you know, where you start to lace your shoes at the bottom. It was sitting right there, and that shoe sold out instantly. It sold out instantly, and I think the resale value is like $400 right now. Like it's something crazy, man. But like you actually own some of that, Dave D. And they've only done it one time. It wasn't on their tongue, but it was just on the shoe at the, you know, closer to the bottom where the laces are. And
now I said the tongue because you know where you used to have the pump.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking.
The Reebok pumps. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
you have any pumps?
Wow. I didn't know they did it.
Yeah.
You know it'd be cool. Seeing that swatches is in the experimental phase. Jordan should do a thing with swatch, put a little swatch piece in that thing, man. I think that'd be cold-blooded. You know, Swatch got a lot of themes anyway, you know what I mean? So I mean, just that'd be cool, you know what I mean? Because again, and we're talking about like flipping money. I would say the sneaker community is undefeated when turning profit.
Yeah,
100%.
Undefeated.
I will say, you know, maybe the last 6 months, you know, it's definitely tanked a bit. And then because what's going on is Nike set back during the peak of, you know, the pandemic, and they saw how people were just making ungodly profits off their shoes. You know, and I mean they're making an ungodly profit because you're talking about it probably takes $10 to mass produce these shoes, each shoe, you know, and they're charging 170, 180. And then what's more upsetting to me is, so for instance, with the most recent release of the Christmas shoes, the Retro 11 Cherries, like you know how they normally put like an actual shoe tree in the shoe.
Yeah.
For the cherries, they just put paper in there, but then they still charging $220.
Nah,
You know,
presentation, baby.
So, but what I'll say is Nike is flooding the market with their shoes right now. So that's causing resale to go down greatly. So now at this point, if it's not some type of like big time like collaboration, it's not, I mean, it's not gonna make you that much money like it would, you know, a couple years ago. So because Nike then now, I don't know if y'all heard, but East Bay, not eBay, but East Bay just closed their doors.
Yep.
What?
And, you know, yeah, East Bay just closed
Wow.
at the end of 2022. Yep.
Wow.
And like East Bay was what started sneaker
Yeah.
honestly, I started with them, you know, because I remember back when I was younger, my mom would call them at midnight, you know, of the release and go ahead and order them right then. Boom. Yeah. But they're no longer.
Wow.
And I believe last year also Foot Action closed down last year. So I mean, like a lot of shoe stores are shutting their doors, and now it's just gonna really be. And then I don't know if it was still in conversation, but at one point, Nike's contract was going to be terminated with Foot Locker because they heard that they were backdooring so many shoes, and they were going to terminate their Nike deal with them. I don't know if it's still, you know, on the table to do that or not, but I mean, Nike's just trying to be really a sole proprietor in selling their own merchandise and not giving it to anybody else. I think that's what they're going to eventually go to, and maybe just sell maybe like smaller boutiques. But some of these bigger shoe companies, you know, I see them in the future pulling the plug on those contracts. So
You had a question, D. Let's see. Have you ever thought of taking a picture of you with all your Jordans and send it to be signed by Jordan?
Man, like I'm at the bottom of the barrel when it come to having I don't have a lot compared to some of these sneakerheads, man. I just watched one of my favorite sneaker YouTubers, and he posted, it said, my sneaker collection 2023 part 1, 300 plus shoes. That's
Who is that? Which one is that, bro?
That's Jay the Sneaker Guy.
Oh, okay.
300 plus shoes for a part 1 video. I can't compete with it, man. But for me, you know, I don't ever want to have that many shoes because I've said it, you know, I've heard other sneakerheads say it, but when you get to have so many of some of similar things, it kind of does get, I don't mean to sound like ungrateful, but it kind of gets like a bit depressing a bit. So I like the fact that I have a more controllable sneaker collection. I have maybe like 60 or 70 pair, but I'm trying to cap out at 100 total. You know, and if it takes me another 5 more years to get to 100 total, I'm cool with that because I'm being way more selective now. I'm not buying everything. Now, it's been hundreds of shoes to come through this house that I've touched, but I've sold. You know, but as far as keeping, you got to really be worthy enough to stay in the shoeseum for me to keep you, because I send you out in a heartbeat.
Oh, that's like Vic. Me and Vic was talking about that as far as watch collecting, bro.
Yep.
You know, when you buy so many watches, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, our collection is predominantly Invicta, but I looked at, like, I went live on Instagram. I showed people the watches I wore the most in 2022. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I got the Aragon. I wear the mess out of that. You know what I mean? And that doggone Speedway, I wear that. And I can care less what anybody can say, that if I do a review on it, like, hey, you shouldn't. Like, I get some of you guys that stop by from other channels and say, why do you collect Invicta? And I laugh at that comment and be like, what? Why do I collect? Like, why do you breathe every day? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the like kind of question is that, right. Why do y'all collect Invicta, bro? Like, that is so crazy, man. And yeah, I'm real selective on what I wear, because at this point, you know, I've gotten rid of a ton of watches. This year, I am going to I'm just going to throw this out there, right? I'm not opening a boutique or whatever, but, you know, it was funny that Jay Jones and some other people said, hey, Trap, you can open up a store. This year, dude, I'm letting watches go for $50, man. I'll ship it to your house, bro. Like I'll care less. Done, out of here. Because I'm shedding so much weight to open up. And just to answer you guys on, like, to answer the question I posed, there's a few watches that you know what I'm saying, that's gonna help me get to my 8 watches that I said that I was gonna get this year. And I might even do 6, Vic. And I know with DK coming here, he always watching.
Please.
I'm not interested in getting a whole bunch. And I'm with Dave D on this one. I know Invicta's supposed to be bringing out their other movements. I'm gonna see how that goes, but I definitely want to, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to leave that open for that. But there's a few pieces that I want to put in that's for general use, everyday use. I don't wear all these watches, so I don't need them anymore. Let me see. My son used to have connections to Japan for exclusive to Japan. Oh man,
Jeez.
he got 150 pairs of Jordans.
No, Joe, he said 5 after he said 8. He's backtracked, but we all know it's going to be more than 5 and more than 8.
It won't.
Mm-hmm. and I'm not going to play PlayStation tonight either.
You're not.
Yeah. As soon as I'm off here.
So yeah, and we gonna get out of here in a second. Like you said 5, if I can remember correctly. Joe, listen, 5, 8, it's all relatively the same, bro. Like what's okay, I can do 4. How about that?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can do 4.
Yeah, you could, but you won't.
Won't I?
I don't think you will.
You don't think I will? Okay, so the magic number is 5, right? I can only collect 5 watches this year. Right? Mm-hmm. Is that it, Vic? 5, Joe? 5?
If you do only 5 watches,
mm-hmm.
I'll have to come up with something that.
Be careful what you say, because I'll hold you to it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it on there. I'll have to think about it. I'll call you and give you. Because too many people here are gonna hold me to it, so I gotta.
We'll come back. We'll circle back. We'll circle back. But trust, believe. Look, when you come up with it, I'm going live so people can hear what you got to say. Because we ain't gonna be no.
What would I do? Like, cookies at request for life. I mean, it's gotta be something good. You know what I mean?
Man,
I like to see you eat like 10 burgers from Burger Barn, Vic.
Oh, who, me or him?
No, you.
Me, one's enough. I have trouble eating one. It's so big.
Because them burgers, look,
they're huge.
D, you know what my goal is for this year? Is to have the Humes come with us to New York. And here's something for you guys, a tidbit for 2023, what we're going to be doing. Another battle in New York is upcoming.
Hey.
Yeah. We're going to have another battle. This? Will the champions come back to play? Huh?
Oh, yeah. I'll be back
when
to play.
Vic, we gotta. Hey, Vic, in 2023, I want you to have a winning record, man.
All right. Well, I finished off 2022 with a winning record. So
yeah, he did. He won 3
in a row.
How is that when you were like 1-8 last? Like,
well, yeah, I know what you're saying, but I won my last 3, so I'm on a streak. I'm on a streak right now.
So you're
bring it.
I got you.
Out here wants to Dave D. Come on, anybody, bring it.
I can't come. I'm on a losing streak.
Because you want to be on a losing streak.
I will say, when Trap comes up in April, whoever can make it, if you can make it a day earlier, man, you know where we're gonna be, and you can see for yourselves how that Burger Barn is. I mean, I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Nightwing said it's after your bedtime, Vic. No gaming. And then Jay Jones, you must got me confused. I didn't know I do not have 5 already this year. I'm sorry, sir. You got to look. Y'all.
He's talking about himself from today.
I know you bought 5 today, bro. So yeah. Do you think I can battle Vic today? Jay Jones, you need to come out to Times Square if you want to battle, man. Bring it.
Well, he's coming because he'll be coming with me, so he'll definitely be there.
All right, and come on. You the reigning defending champion, man. You Kimon is flawless, undefeated. You know what I'm saying?
Undefeated.
Maybe me versus Kimon in New York. How about that?
Yeah, I'm not bringing any watches.
Hey, the 2 champs.
Let's see.
Ooh,
I am
look,
not bringing
Hey,
no
I
watches,
might
bro.
win. I might win one round. I might win one round.
I would, you know what? I would like to see Nightwing come out and go up against somebody, man. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna have you know what? I'm gonna wait and see to see what watches are gonna be featured for the month of April. We're gonna get the dates. We'll let you guys know. So stay tuned to that. And before we get out of here, y'all, Dave D, we've had conversations about, you know, some pretty interesting stuff today. Not so interesting, some frustrating stuff, you know, the usual. But overall, man, what's your take on today's episode?
Hey, man. I say, man, let's stop listening to crazy people.
Yes,
For
sir.
one, you know, these people, they got an agenda like everyone else has an agenda. So I don't take them seriously. You know, like I said before, definitely I won't listen to what he has to say on his channel. Not under these circumstances, anyway. You know, you're not gonna get any clicks from me. But you know, valid point. He has the right to say what he wants to say, and you know, we can respect it or don't. We don't have to. But at the same time, look, you guys, if you're in here, you like what you're doing, you're collecting, you're having fun, you're not out there stealing, robbing, killing, you know, hey, I'm all for it, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You know, um, you could be doing like something different. You know what I'm saying? You could be doing something illegal too. So let's not fall into that trap. But I say just enjoy watch collecting. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't let nobody take you away from your focus.
Sure.
And live life, man. That's it, for real. I mean, in the conversation itself, yeah, it's a good conversation to have. You know,
Right.
I just don't get caught up. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Easy to get caught up, man, in these things because that's what they want you to do. Get caught up and start ranting off, which is cool.
Right.
You
See,
know,
because now we're
but
talking about it, right?
yeah, you know, but there's nothing wrong with the conversation. You know, these
Never
topics are
is.
good topics
Nope.
to have. You know, it's just I just hate giving validation to hypocrites. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to validate those people. So, you know,
Yeah.
have fun doing your things.
Vic, what you got, bro? What's your final verdict?
You know, look, I can't say anything that Dave D said. I mean, just again, and it's been cliche, and we all say it, man. At the end of the day, man, just buy what you want to buy, man. And don't care what anyone else thinks or says. Um, you know, look, we don't have to like everything. There's a time and place to be negative, and there's a time and place for everything. And we don't need to get race involved because that has totally nothing to do with it whatsoever. So that comment really threw me off, and that poor comment. But you know, just man, look, you want to wear a Timex on your wrist, wear a damn Timex on your wrist. Who cares? Wear what you want, and just wear what's gonna make you happy. And you know, I get aggravated because I'm just tired of hearing it. You know what I mean? I'm just tired of like every other video is a rant about hate and hate this and Victa this and Victa that. Just move on, man. Okay, we get it. Move on. You know.
And finally, Mr. Unbox, what's your final verdict, sir?
Man, you know, completely unrelated. I was just thinking, for one of the very few times I know in my lifetime, I'm pretty young, but we saw the world come together, man, and that was what happened on Monday Night Football on last Monday. And we saw just how much compassion the world can have for one human being, despite color, despite origin, despite any of that. And I think that was a great representation of what we can be as a country. Unfortunately, we're not always like that, but we definitely have potential. And witnessing that just this entire week, you know, I've seen many of people in tears, many of people coming together in thoughts and prayers. And I think that's what we need more of. And that's just compassion and love. So just to kind of put that into terms of this is, I mean, we just need to spend less time expressing unpopular opinions and spend more time on finding ways to love one another, because that's ultimately what it's about. And I mean, we talk on here all the time, and that's giving people their flowers. Again, you know, Dave D said it, Vic said it. We don't have to agree on everything, but deep down inside, the common interest that we should all share, that should be love, that should be compassion. So my challenge for everybody in this year and even years moving forward is show love.
Well said.
You know what? And I'll follow up with all four of you, or all three of you guys. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the knowledge, everything that you guys have to offer. I appreciate the support, man. Shy, I just seen you came in. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being a member as well. D, that's the biggest thing is showing love. And that's what we're going to do this year. Hopefully, more people can jump on there, man, and giving flowers when you can. Again, Dave D, you already know how I feel about you, bro. I talk to this guy on a regular basis. I talk to Vic on a regular basis, as well as Mr. Unbox. All you guys are amazing. Everybody in the chat, from Nightwing to Shy to Cliff, everybody, even the content creators, my wife, everybody that's in the chat that's been in here tonight. You guys are amazing. I appreciate all of the commentary. I appreciate all the comments that you made. But let's continue to push this channel forward and, you know, share this out. One thing that we're going to continue to do is show love. And, you know, my goal is to always edify and push people. I got a chance to see one of the biggest or the greatest sentiments towards like representing other people, and that was on the Meet Now Awards. My man that's in here was like one of the nominees for a number of things, but him and his family are great individuals. If you guys never got a chance to see the Humans Empire, go over there and check the channel out. I know that you will love it. One of the dopest intros that I've seen on the planet, got me wanting to pay for them to help me make an intro, because
That's
God,
love, man. I appreciate that. But
again, it's been an amazing journey. The 4 years I've been on here. Get out of here with the tambourine. I don't know. She in church. She did this in church today, y'all. In the middle of church.
I was like this.
Nobody else had a tambourine. We don't even go to a tambourine. Okay, no. We don't even go to a tambourine type church. She just in the middle of. But anyway, as my man would say, anywho, I've seen some amazing people. You know, and I support excellence, man. I don't care who you are. If you're a content creator on this channel, on YouTube, Instagram, dude, I commend you for being a creator. So let's continue pushing forward. Let's follow up with my man D said, because, dude, I can't put it no better than that. So if there's anything else, there was one comment. I saw Jordan 2. Somebody said something about Jordan 2.
Jesus said he wants the Travis Scott.
And I'm not even a Jordan 2 fan like that.
Yeah.
But I did like them. They cool. I think that's something that's going to sit on the shelf for me. Yeah. D, you know better than I do, but I just don't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna get them, but I decided not to. Man, I'm actually because as I mentioned, I'm being way more selective now, and I would definitely say the Jordan 2s. I mean, again, it kind of goes back to our whole conversation. If you like it, buy it, because you have to wear it, not me. You know, it doesn't matter what I think, because that's your money that you're using to buy these products. So if you like it, buy it. That's all. That's it.
Let me add this right quick before we end.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So I'm not sure what Trap has going on as far as doing some collectors events and stuff like that. But what I'm suggesting is that if Trap is doing an event and he has dates and things like that way ahead of time, you know, let's see if we can make an effort to come on out and support that event. You know, I would definitely like to meet a lot more of the collectors, a lot of the people that's in the chat and stuff that I haven't met. I would like to meet some more of those people and just to see some different faces and things like that, come out to these events because actually, the events are pretty fun, getting together with a bunch of collectors and, sitting around talking trash, I guess. But yeah, come on out to the events, man, because, I'm hoping that I can do, maybe some more events this coming year. And, we'll see how it goes from there. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say.
Yeah. They're always fun, man. They're always fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Dinner the night before is always a good time,
Right.
So Ladybug, we gonna say goodbye to the good people. We gonna say bye to everybody.
Don't forget to hit that thumbs up.
Yeah, if you did hit the thumbs up, please
Leave a comment after this.
Yeah, right now.
share it out and go in love. You feel me? Love and peace and all that good stuff. All right, y'all.
Worker who came to work in Skechers and broke his leg. Now let me quit. And
Wow.
the young guys made fun of him. Oh, so he stopped wearing them.
I wear whatever the hell I want. If you saw my sneakers, man, all brown and dirty and crusty and give a crap.
Yeah, Vic don't care. As long as he got a Magnum on, he's good to go.
Yeah, tomorrow Monday, so be sure to catch my IG.
She got some Cardi B's, y'all. All right. Now, come on. All right. So, we made it to the end. We've all survived. Thank you guys for participating. Thank you guys for watching. And you already know until the next lightning strike. As my man
Be blessed.
Can I hit the end button?
See you, everybody. Be good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.